kind of transitioning in to the final section or segment. We all know Lamar Jackson is new era 8, right? We've got a new offensive coordinator. We've got, we're spending money on wide receivers. We got Zay Flowers in the first round. We ended up trading for a linebacker and then paying him a lot of money. The Ravens don't give out a lot of big time contracts to teams that aren't, or players that aren't homegrown, but they did that with Roquan Smith. Is this a new era in Baltimore, or maybe are we waiting for the, I'll say, farewell of John Harbaugh for that to really start?
Let's clear the air now. Long as we are in playoff contention, John is staying here. Only way I see something this season would have to go crazy negative for them to say, you know what, hey Todd or hey Mike McDonald, want to get moved up? That's the only way, and because they're not going to go out and actually search for a head coach. I feel like Eric DeCosta will just keep one of the guys in house and just bump them up. But honestly, I do feel like this is the beginning of a new era because is this Lamar's 6th year? Wow.
Yeah.
6th year, fifth year starting as a QB. Well, who would have thought? Who would have thought from his draft experience? Everybody wanted to play QB. No, excuse me. Everybody wanted to play wide receiver and running back, and now he's been a starting QB, going on his 5th year as a starter. This is a truly a miracle story. Blessed. I do feel like this is a new era for him. I do think it's a new era for this team for the simple fact that we have duos in the secondary with Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. Both of these, and I believe Marcus is just now 25, 26. Kyle Hamilton's around 22, 23.
Yeah, Marcus Williams 26.
I know that was drafted onto the Ravens team. He's younger than them. And Roquan is like 25. So you got catalysts. You got a strong core on both groups. And even in a defense, yes, I know everybody, wait for a Dafiel Wade's breakout to happen.
Uh-oh. Looks like Joshua disconnected. I'll add in. I'll continue going on this. When you're looking at the Ravens, team, the way that it's constructed, the age, it's young. The players are young. It's new. It's fast. It's flashy, unlike the traditional old Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to have a different take. I'm going to say that I think that the Baltimore Ravens, when you think about what they do, I think John Harbaugh is really the new era. I think when John Harbaugh took over, it became a new era in Baltimore. And it didn't happen as in, new turn of the page. It was slow. It really shifted when Ray Lewis ended up retiring because he was the leader of those teams. But when Ray Lewis retired, it kind of turned into the Harbaugh era. And I'm going to say that I think it's still the Harbaugh era. I don't think we're getting out of that. I don't think Lamar's going to be able to get the Ravens out of that. I think the Harbaugh era is going to be his thing because he's truly commanding everything. He's hiring the offensive coordinators, and most of the time they're doing a bad job. He's hiring the defensive coordinators, and they're doing a pretty good job. I'm not trying to hate him on that. But the development and everything, it's all been the same under Harbaugh. And yes, could this year be different? Maybe. But how many times have we said that under Harbaugh? It's always could this year be different? And under Harbaugh, almost every time, in this new Harbaugh era, post Ray Lewis, it's been, the Ravens are probably a playoff team. And that's it. You don't say contender. You say playoff team. And obviously, I hope the Ravens are a contender. I think the Ravens should be a contender this year. But, until Harbaugh's gone, I'm not ready to say that it's a new era because of the impact that I think he has on the players and the organization and the staff in Baltimore and the way that they play. the aggressive nature, the analytics based, approach. That's always been Harbaugh's thing, is he wants to do, it his way. And that way hasn't really changed. He brings in his friends to coach with them, which it's not a bad thing if you have good friends. His friends are very good, like his friend Greg Roman. So it just makes it a little bit difficult. It makes it tough, but overall, it ends up not working out, in the postseason a lot of times, and the coaching has fallen apart, and that's been a consistent theme for 7-8 years under the Baltimore Ravens with John Harbaugh. So yes, the thing, maybe management is in a new era with how Eric DeCosta is handling everything, but in terms of just the team as a whole, I'm not ready to say it's a new era yet until I see it, and I don't expect to see it. Even if the Ravens win the Super Bowl, I don't expect to see it until Harbaugh is gone. In terms of differences in the organization, the differences in the team, and differences in the culture. Because I think culture is the biggest thing about an era. And I think it's one of the biggest things about a team is the culture rather than the players, rather than the style. I think it's the culture. And the Ravens have had one culture under John Harbaugh. The Ravens have had two cultures in their history. Ray Lewis culture, John Harbaugh culture, nothing else. Because Ray Lewis was here from day one. There's been 2 eras. I don't see a new one starting anytime soon. But, unless Joshua ends up joining in the next, couple of minutes, it's probably going to be the end of the episode. So thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. Make sure to let us know your guys' thoughts and opinions on everything. Let us know any topics, ideas, videos, Ravens related or not. We'll talk about that as well. Thank you so much. We'll see all of you again next time.